All right, friends, we are live. This is an interesting day for me. I was just at the dentist getting a whole bunch of horrible stuff done. But very excited to be here with y'all. And let's just let the people in Discord know that we're moving over to this kind of YouTube thing if they want to watch, because we were on the Discord public before this. So I'm going to give you a quick overrun of where we're at. We have first off, we have a new version of Webaverse. Which is it's fairly minimal. We'll add the HP bar back, but it's much simpler. It's much easier for teams to build their own dreams on. The actual code base is nice and well organized, and something that we probably should have done a long time ago. And I'll show you a link to that really quick. This is our new monorepo, Webaverse Studios, and it's got documentation. It's got all the packages here. If you want to see where all the code has gone to, it's in this packages folder. And we've got packages for clients. Client and compiler are kind of our two big front ones, and then the rest are packages that are kind of imported into our client and compiler. The compiler basically optimizes things before they arrive at the client. That way your client doesn't need to do all the compilation. But this is pretty much the new monorepo. So this is what I've got open over here. And you can see I've got a couple cool things. One, I've got my ENS integration here. So you can see if you have an ENS wallet, it'll show you your ENS address as well as your logo that you set there. But something that I did right before this, I'm just in the middle of working on it, is so we were using the OpenSea API, and OpenSea still, even after 3 years, has not given us a Polygon API. So we cannot introspect for Polygon stuff on your wallet. So what I had to do is I went and I grabbed Alchemy. Alchemy is another SDK. I like Infura, I like Alchemy, but out of the box, Alchemy is like, put this in, paste this here, and bam, you've got tokens. So I'm gonna walk through that really quick, and then I'm gonna show you where we're at, which is I've got the tokens coming in, but we're gonna have to make sure they show up properly. From there, we're going to do a little hack to pull the RetroDoge out, because the RetroDoges have VRMs as well as GLBs on them, and we wanted to do something interesting with that. We wanted to give people the option to kind of load these dynamically. So I'm totally winging this, and if anyone is watching this has ideas on things as they come up, feel free to DM me or post it or whatever. But I just kind of we're going from scratch. For busy day, we want to just kind of show a little bit of the process. So I have this token list here, and this token list gives me a list of tokens from the sections. And the sections right now, I've actually disabled all the sections except for OpenSea, because really what I care about right now is getting all of my assets. Well, it's not actually from, I'm just gonna say from my wallet. From my wallet, not OpenSea, just my wallet generally, right? I need to get assets. So I've got a couple of different token lists. I got the token list for my resources. I got the token list for, I have a couple more sections here that I'll add back for, land and stuff will appear here. But basically inside of this React component, I have this token list. This token list is my backpack. It has one section, which is from my wallet. Inside of that section, the tokens that are available are these NFTs. This list of NFTs is getting populated from this Alchemy call right here, right? Set NFTs. And now one other thing we could do, just to make sure this is all happening like we want it to, we could say, well, we should probably wrap this token list to only appear once NFTs is not undefined, right? And length is greater than 0. We'll say, we'll just double bang the NFTs because it's probably null. Let me just make sure. It's not, it's a list. So we'll say if NFTs.length is greater than 0, then call this. And hopefully, there you go. So now if once NFTs is populated, it'll show our token list. We could actually do something like show the entire view once that's populated, but it's going to cause a latency, like a delay. So I'm going to go back and add some loaders and some nice stuff later, but just for now, got that kind of saved. I'm going to tab this open. I got to refresh it. I press tab, and hopefully, well, nothing's appearing. But the reason that it's not appearing is probably something to do with, like you can see that the tokens are spamming into my console log. And if I look at my console log here, in my token list, I'm going to go to the token list. Component, I have this section is, I have this token is object. And you can see token is, and then it shows me what the object is. Now this one right here, titled Doge. And you can see it's Doge test, it's DLH. That is our retro Doge. This is what we're trying to get, right? This is the data we want. So on the actual token, there's a field called raw metadata. And in the raw metadata field, this is one great thing about Alchemy. So if you go through the OpenSea API, they do not show you all this raw metadata. You basically just get the OpenSea stuff. But if you go through the Alchemy API, bam, now I've got a link to my avatar. Beautiful. I've got a link to the image, the JPEG, and then I've got a link to the start URL, which is the GLB. So the start URL semantic is something from Webaverse. It's somewhat arbitrary, but we use the start URL for starting Metaverse files. Basically, it's like, hey, what is my entry point? And if it's a GLB, that's like, oh, that's a 3D model, so I can use that as a wearable, or I could drop it in the world, or whatever I want to do with that. Cool. But we also, we want these retro Doges to be pets. We don't just want them to be importing as a 3D model static, or even as a, maybe I wear the Doge as my avatar from the GLB version or something. What we really want is to import and then have the Doge be our pet. So I can think of a couple ways to approach this. One of them is to create an app that checks if we own Doges and then becomes like a pet spawner. That would be kind of easy. Another way would be to add a hack and say, look, this is how most teams are probably doing this right now, is we know that these are set up to do this cool stuff, that they're already, the retro Doge collection is already set up to be pets. Basically, we've tested this kind of externally, so we can add a hack that says, well, if it's a retro Doge, let's just bring it in, let's give the option to bring it in as a pet. I feel like that's probably going to be outside of the scope of what we could do right now. I'll try and get it done today though, but we'll see how we go. So the first thing we got to do is we got to get this retro Doge properly to appear in our backpack. It's not appearing in our backpack because probably because I changed over to the Alchemy API, and the Alchemy API is not the same, right? So I'm just going to copy this code right here, because I want this JSON. I'm going to copy it to a new window here, and let me format that as JSON. Can I do it? I gotta save it first. I'm gonna say example.json. I'll save it here. My doc. Oh, maybe it'll let me. It might not actually let me. But that's okay, because I saved it somewhere else already ahead of time. I think Linux is so slow. Well, the main part I need is this. Raw metadata. Attributes are cool, but there we go. Components. Ooh, it already has the pet stuff on it. Great. This is going to be easier than I thought. I forgot we had already gone through that part. So, so we are going to do the pets, because one cool thing about what the retro Doge team has already done is gone through and added on the metadata a start URL, which is where we'll find our pet. But they've also added a components list. And the components list has physics, so make this thing have some physics and bump around. It has a look, so make sure the Doge looks at us or whoever the nearest kind of player is. And then it has a pet value, which means just go and be a pet. Inside of our pet, we have, if you have an idle animation, you can play it. Run animation, play it, and walk animation, you can play it. If you don't have these, it'll just kind of stand still while you're idling, and the run should just default back to the walk. So, oh, awesome, great. I just got the dump of the metadatas. I'm just going to take that off to the side here, and because we're going to need that in a second. And I'll put that right there. Oh, are we stuck in save? Yeah. We'll save that. Cool. So this is what we're gonna have to try to work out. So we inside a raw metadata, token is balance contract, blah 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 blah, raw metadata, and that's where we need to get our information from. Token is object. Cool. I feel like we need to restructure tokens though. Probably want to make a new array. We'll say map tokens to a new array, and in that new array, we just want the values of with the a new array of token dot raw metadata. Does that look right? Yeah, it looks right. A little bit of Copilot action there. And now with the raw metadata, we'll say, well, we should also check that token metadata. Well, let's just say if tokens length is greater than 0 and tokens 0 raw metadata, then we can do this, right? And we'll say let token metadata. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm trying to destructure out the metadata from the tokens. I don't need all this token data. I just need this metadata, really. So if that tokens length is greater than 0 and there is metadata on it, it's not going to come from every source, but it's definitely going to come this way from Alchemy. Then make a token metadata array and map the tokens to it if they have, like, basically map out the metadata for each one. So now we have an array that's just the metadata, none of the actual token wrapper stuff. Sorry if that's confusing for non-programmers people, but hopefully that makes sense. And then otherwise we'll just set token metadata to tokens. That way we can try and map it. Now the map is probably not going to work super well without going into token, but we can make it work. We'll probably need to then go into our actual token and mess with it. Come on. So slow. While that's happening, let's go over the Alchemy call. Format selection. I don't know why it was. Okay, so what's going on here is I have settings. I have an API key, which is throwaway. Don't worry, it's garbage. You can't use it for anything. I have a. I'm creating an Alchemy object, and then I'm calling alchemy.nft, which is their NFT library. Get NFTs for owner, and I'm getting the NFTs for the current address, and then I set the NFTs, and that's it. Like, this is the entire code. And honestly, I just copied and pasted this off of their. What's cool at Alchemy is if you tell it what you want, they give you code example in your favorite language of how to do it. So I didn't even write this. I put in the current address and that was it. You can see we're checking Matic mainnet. We could run this a bunch of times. We could check a bunch of different networks if we wanted to. But for now, we're just focused on Matic. Cool. So, ooh, look at that. I pressed tab and it populated with something. Now, it didn't show me the images, but I feel like we're getting there. Okay, so now if I look in here, though, I don't think these are what I want. Look at these tokens. We've got these are the tokens from our other from ETH, I think. These are our mainnet tokens because we're pulling in the other one. Let me make sure that's right. We have NFTs. Weird, I don't actually see any other. I see token box. And I see token, but I think that's the only one. I'll make sure. If we delete this, does it go away? I hope so. That'd be weird if it didn't. Oh, no, never mind. I saw it. What am I doing? Got it. I found the retro Doge. Cool. So just talking to the retro Doge team, we just did a test on Matic because it's cheap. You know, it's a great way. Cool thing about Polygon, which is also called Matic, same network, is it is an Ethereum compatible chain. You write it in the same language as Ethereum, and then if you want to, which the team will hopefully do, seems like they're going to, is we're going to release it on Ethereum for the final launch. So a lot of us will use a Polygon to test, and then we'll move over to ETH when it's ready. Cool. So this is going to take a second to import. I don't know why. I'll have to get some nice loaders here. But I did see a dang retro Doge, and it was like right there. No, it's not going to like that. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that next thing. But there, look at that. Look at that. It's a retro Doge. Oh my God. It's there. It's doing something. Is it importing? It might just work. It looks right. Yeah, it's downloading. I think it's coming from IPFS, so it's really slow. Okay, it works, but there's no lighting in the scene. so we got to fix that. But hey, we're getting there, right? We got a pet. And okay, he's black. I'll fix that in a second. But he is a pet. He does activate. Let's figure out what's going on with this. Okay, so I need to edit this scene. All the scenes were in a separate repo, and you would have to kind of bring that repo in, and it's a whole thing. But we've actually consolidated all of this together. So let's see. This should be in block.scene. I think it's in public. In client public scenes, we have block.scene, and you see how it says block here. And inside a block, I don't have anything but a grid. I just got this grid. Okay, we gotta light this place. This is nuts. I'll pull the prototype scene. We got some lights in here. I'm just gonna copy them. You can see that. So this is our scene format. It's basically just JSON. And what we really want is we want a little bit of sky. We'll copy this atmospheric sky, and we want these lights. We'll just copy those. Whoops, took us out. And then we're gonna paste them in here into our objects array. And then we will save that. And now we will import. So if there are no lights in a scene, everything is totally black. The grid is unlit, and the character is specially lit. Characters have their own kind of setting in Webaverse. That's why it seems normal. But for almost everything else, I do need lights. Oh, uncaught, expected. So I have some JSON error. Yeah, I copied too many things. You can see there's some extra objects there. Let's try that again. Yeah, looks like we got good. And they load in kind of slowly. So right now it's pulling, okay, one reason to use OpenSea, and we will probably, if RetroDoge is getting minted onto Ethereum, we'll probably just parse it through the OpenSea parser, is they scrape the whole chain and they cache all of the assets. And so generally downloading directly from OpenSea is just a lot faster. We're trying to figure this out. Maybe we'll just scrape the chain ourselves and have our own cache, but you know, it's a complicated effort. And what we really, the end result is that it takes a long time to download a relatively small file from the chain. But that's just IPFS. So look, we got our character. Now we got some funky business. For one, he's playing the animation. But we kind of want him to just, if he's idling, he probably shouldn't play an animation. And for two, he's up in the air. I can move him. Get down here. Come on, friend. And for three, he's not following me. So, we're pretty close. But also, what if I want to bring him in as a VRM? You know? That's going to be interesting. I could imagine two ways I could do this. I could, on drag, we could detect what it is. Well, we don't really have we haven't really ever thought about this idea of like, you have one NFT that's either a pet or an avatar. This is kind of a new thing that for this collection. How could we approach this? One approach would be when you drag the token here, it could throw up a menu that says, do you want to wear this avatar or drop as a pet, right? We could do that. Now, if I just grab something off of my desktop, I'll show you what the other menu looks like. Let's see. I've got a couple of JPEGs over here. Let's grab this JPEG. And now you see how it's got. Oh, that's interesting. It's got drop, equip, mint, cancel. I'm wondering if. Well, I'm noticing a couple of things. When we pull stuff from the chain, we don't actually get here. We're just kind of dropping it. So maybe we need to show this menu. And instead of saying mint, we should probably say drop, equip, quote, pet, in parentheses, pet, equip, parentheses, avatar, something like that, right? That's kind of what I'm imagining. I think we should try and bite this into pieces, though. Maybe. Which one do you guys want to do first? Do you want to try and solve the pet case, or do you want to solve the do we want to fix the pet and make the pet walk around, or do we want to? Maybe we should. I think the more complex and challenging thing, like the pet will just work if I just kind of fix a couple things, right? Like I just got to review the pet code, but the most challenging thing here is that split between an avatar, like you could wear the Doge or you could have the Doge for your pet. I really think that's the like interesting crux of what we're working on right now. So we're gonna try and take that challenge. So let's see. I think we'll do that first. So if I go here and I see my inventory and I see this Doge, and I take that Doge and I drag it here, what I really want to happen is I want to have that menu come up, right? I think. So let's see where that menu is coming from, and then let's try and make that happen. Well, first off, we can get rid of these crazy logs, because now they're more or less doing what we want them to do. Second off, we're going to say, okay, so there's definitely a button called equip. And so we have a drag and drop component, right? This is our upload object view. Cool. And then we have our token dropdown view. Now, I wonder. Come on. Now, I wonder if we can trigger show token dropdown, and then that will do what we were expecting it to do. And then we might be able to skip a lot of this pain. I love when your team builds something and you didn't even know, and it's so useful. Look at this. We've already got spawn, equip, drop, and claim. Yes. Oh my god, that's like an hour of my time saved. Okay, so equip is cool, But we kind of need to do some conditional logic here, right? Like what we probably need is if the object has a VRM, let's make that happen too. Let's have an equip as avatar, right? We have our metadata. Our metadata is feeding into the, let's see, this is our token box. Does this get the object? Yeah, yes, great. So we have the object. This object is our metadata object. This is like our NFT stuff that we just got. And we can go into VS Code, where I had saved it somewhere. I just want to pull that file back up because it was useful. Example.json, yeah. Although this does not look like the same metadata that I was receiving. So let's just make sure that we're on the same page here. Let's see. Got the import. Here's our list of assets. There's our Doge. You can see raw metadata, and inside of raw metadata we have avatar. Right? Now that's what we're looking for. So it'll just be avatar. I think we can just say this will do a conditional in JSX. Object dot avatar and now this is not exactly gonna, we'll have to restructure this a little bit, but that'll be okay. Object.avatar and equip avatar. And then we want another equip. Object.components includes a component with the key of pet. So we're going to say, we'll just codex this out because I don't want to deal with the restructure. Object.components, check if object.components includes an entry with the key pet. Includes a value like, what is it? A key with the value pet. That's what I'm trying to do. And we will say we don't actually need to define it. We'll just do like that. It includes. That's not going to work. Object.keys. That's not what I'm looking for. What I want to do is filter. Dot filter. Component key. Yeah, that's what I want. A little bit of codex magic. So basically what I'm doing is saying, hey, go through there, and if there is a component, I should probably also check that there's a components field. If there's components, and one of the components is a pet, then we're going to say equip pet. And then lastly, we're just going to do the regular. Which could also be a conditional. We could say like, oh, well, there's no avatar, there's no pet. Okay, do this instead, but I think it's fine if there's 3 equips for now. We'll smooth it out a little bit. Okay, let's refresh that. Now, hopefully, I wrote the code right. And when we do the dropdown, we'll see some different options. It's still not going to import properly because we have to destructure the object and restructure it again. Let's let it load. It's probably that one though. Come on. Well, it's definitely happening. So you can see there's no spawn. I mean, so there's only one equip on any of these other ones. And whenever this preview decides to load back in, I know it's that one because it's always been that one. And it just kind of loads them in order. And you can see equip, there you go. Now you can see the Doge. Equip is an avatar, equip is a pet. Great. Now, if I press avatar, it's just going to equip it as a pet. Dang. Why? Well, because the start URL is the GLB, and because components-wise, it has the pet component. So what we should do then is we need to send this back, equip avatar, and we're going to do a destructure on this on equip. So we'll say, okay, dot 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 object, cool, start URL, and that's going to be object dot avatar, right? Components is going to be empty. So in JavaScript, when this dot 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 says take all of the values that were already an object and assign them to this new object we're creating, which we're actually creating right in place. But then override the start URL with the avatar URL. That's what's going to tell it to load the avatar. And then also, let's just set the components to empty so that it doesn't think it's a pet. That should be it. Pretty much it. This is going way better than I thought, honestly. Considering we're kind of winging it with the new Alchemy SDK and all that. I really like Alchemy. It's really easy. It covers a lot of chains. They give you the code to do what you need to do. You just tell it, like, I need to look at NFTs or whatever, and bam, done. Okay. Pop this open again. It also does, all kinds of tokens. I think it does, like, Arbitrum and a bunch of L2s and stuff, too. So I can't say good enough things about them. I've also used Infura a lot. I think I stopped using Infura because they don't have quite as many, like, just bam, right out of the box, easy NFT features. But Infura is good, too. Cool. So now I drop, wait. We right click it and we equip it as an avatar. Let's see what happens. No, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Probably because I did the wrong one. No, let's just make sure I saved it. It's usually something stupid. We have a I'm gonna try and line up a contest for like a nice splash screen. I'm sick of looking at the controls. I want like some beautiful art there. Okay, let's try that one more time, and then we'll see if I messed up. I mean, it says importing VRM. Yeah. Oh, almost. I mean, it worked. It didn't equip it, but it like put it in the scene. So, can I wear you? Apparently I can't wear you, but we're very close. That's the VRM right there. Okay, so it works. Sometimes you have to save twice. I don't know why. And then just to make sure we did it right, we'll do the pet as well. And that's probably downloading. There we go. Okay, now we got, look at that. That's adorable. You got your pet. You got your little Wall Street Doge. Yeah, look very fancy. And now all we gotta do is say, okay, well, we've got some, I think we've done the thing we were trying to demonstrate, right? And now we just gotta fix some Webaverse bugs and we're in business. So let's see. The first thing we want to do is say, why aren't you wearing? And why can't I want to wear you. Let's see. Object avatar looks good. Let's check out our onEquip. Let's see what's going on there. We're passing the onEquip into here. This is some crazy prop drilling. Basically, we pass down these functions down to the token list, to the tokens. Could probably make a token context, but it's fine. This is a lot of props. onEquip, and we have an onSpawn and an onDrop. So let's make sure that our onEquip is doing. See, that does not look right. Handle drop JSON. I feel like it wants to be handle. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's go peep that. Let's go see what is going on here. It'll drop JSON to player. It drops the URL. But how does it actually equip it or wear it? No. Let's see. On equip. Whoops. Let me just pull this over here. Splits it right. Come on. Get back to the equip. All right, so we're calling this handle drop JSON to player. My assumption is that when we change the UI here, we tested it, so it mostly works, but it seems like it might just be like saying, oh, you probably just want to drop it. I mean, and that's fine. I'm just drop JSON for spawn. Handle drop to URL player. So it's importing the app. What it's not doing is it's not activating. So let me try one thing really quick. Get full origin thing. Oh, no. Nope, don't do that. Full Webaverse main. Let me just check to make sure, because I feel like we fixed that one of these things. Let me just make sure we got the latest on it. What is it? It is Webaverse Studios / Webaverse. Cool. Yeah, it was pulled in recently. Okay. So this app.activate is probably what's not calling. And I think if it did, it should just equip. And I can tell because when I go in here to into here, I can't activate it. It's not calling. I wonder why. So that's definitely a bug. We've just moved over to this new monorepo, so we've got a few kind of funky things like that. Let's just make sure. I'll say console.log activating app. Why don't I try and bring in like a sword? I should just bring in a sword. That'll just give us a little bit of context. So I can do that really easily by going to Webaverse / sword. And I'll just download this sword. Or I could even put it in the scene and then we could just test it. This will be fine. Well, if I want to show you how to do that, I can just go back to my scenes. Packages, client, source, public actually, scenes. And I'll go to block, and we're going to put in another object. And this object is going to be at 111. And it's going to be Webaverse .github.io/sword. Now, hopefully, we can wear that, and that will give us a clear baseline for what the hell is going on. Well, it's multiplayer. I've got two of these scenes open actually. Cool. So there's another me somewhere in my desktop. Okay. I don't see a sword. Oh, I know why. I'll just go to the single player version because the scene's already loaded with no sword in the multiplayer. I think I have like 3 or 4 windows open with the same thing. Okay, cool. There's a sword. Pick it up, and it does wear. Okay. Cool. Looks good. That is odd. So let's just try and go and grab the Retro Doge VRM. Let's just take a look at it and make sure that I can do the same thing. Because I want to know, like, is it something to do with my drag and drop? Is it something to do with my import? Is it something to do with the Retro Doge, right? And we want to make sure it's not, so that way they can mint and be good to go. So what I will do is I will go back to my example JSON, which I have from the Retro Doge. And I'm just going to pull out the VRM. And so this is an IPFS URL. Here's a great little hack. I have this IPFS URL. Obviously, I could try and go to it in my browser, but it's just not going to work. The way to get this to work is to delete the first part and go to ipfs.io/ipfs/. And the rest of it's the same. And bam, downloaded the VRM. Look at that, it's downloading for me. So that's if you're trying to like figure out like how do I actually get something off IPFS, you can just do it, use ipfs.io, and they have a gateway mirror all for you. Okay, so we got this Retro Doge. Let's drop them in. Downloading. And ooh, cutie. And let's equip. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, backflips. Wait, we gotta do some gliding. Hold on. I gotta run to the end. You guys don't even know. I want to show you something brand new. Ah, yeah, gliding. Yeah, little Zelda, little Breath of the Wild Doge action. Look at that. That's pretty awesome, right? It's so much fun. And you can then skydive down. Now in this world we don't have a respawn, but usually we put like a respawn down here. So I'm just gonna refresh. Okay, so the VRM works great. But something about the way when we import them, when we drop them through our drag drop, it works great. But when we import them, it does not want to equip. Odd. Okay, can work with that. So let's see. Well, we have a drag and drop. When I dragged and dropped that Doge onto here, we have a drag and like it's like we have a layer that just handles that logic. Drag and drop. When the drag and drop happens, you can see it's its own React component. It has some special logic. You can see it's got the drop logic, the equip logic, and the mint logic. Now, what's interesting is that it's just doing the same thing, right? It's calling activate. And if you see the difference between the drop and the equip is this calling of app.activate. So something about the activate is not calling. That's an interesting thing. Now, yes, there's another thing, which is the data that I was getting from the model is different than what I was seeing from that Doge. So what the heck is that? Because, like, check this out. I equip as an avatar. I think. Yeah, it's freezing. There we go. That's not the same Doge. That's not the Doge I just downloaded. Peep this Doge. This is the Doge I downloaded. This is my pretty long haired Doge. Whoa! Another interesting thing. I think this might actually be something we have to solve in the model though, because the the hair and the eyeballs are not coming along with us. So we should probably keep that. Let's try let's try a different VRM, just to make sure that we're on the same page here. So if I go back to this IPFS link, whoops, that I was downloading from ipfs.io/ipfs. Let's just try one.vrm. Let's try the other VRMs. Let's just make sure they're not all totally crazy. But I'm pretty sure that this is something we're going to have to take a look at in the artwork. Okay, so we got one.vrm. It's kind of creepy with those eyes. And hey, look at that cutie. Equip you. Yeah. Oh, same deal. So something about the hair is not going with us. That's very strange. Okay, well let's take a little aside to figure that out. Let's see. I gotta run it from the terminal. I'm gonna pop open the Blender. I'm gonna see if I can just fix that on my side, and we can, or at least figure out what's wrong with it. If I can just fix it in the VRM, then we know it's the VRM. So we're gonna import that VRM. Got a lot of junk. One.vrm. Import anyway. And we're gonna validate whether it's a model issue that can be fixed in Blender or it's a code issue that we need to solve. Now, if I take this armature and I move it around, it does move. It does move. Now let's look at pose mode. Actually, no, we want probably we kind of want to be the weights. Well, what happens if we like turn the head? Let's go to pose mode. And then I can show you what the weights look like. So I gotta go to the armature, and then I can go to pose mode. Then I gotta get that, and now if I move, I mean, that's working right. That definitely looks right. I don't think this is an issue with the VRMs. Fascinating. Now, one thing we could do, well, it's hard because they're randomly rolled, but we could come on. Oh, sorry, duh, wrong mode. And we can Control J, and I'm just gonna. This is another way to make sure that it's not some kind of funky issue. We'll just say one combined. We'll say Doge combined .vrm. What I did was I actually combined all of the model into a single model, and we'll just see if it works all right. My sense is this is a Webaverse issue with so we've been optimizing our skin mesh under to work with single draw call avatars, but most of the randomly 10K collections and stuff are not single draw call. We do have a baker. Maybe we should talk about that, because we could probably get these doges to be a little more performant. let's just try that and see if the single model approach at least is kind of getting us there. If not, it's probably a Webaverse issue, and I'm just gonna have to go bug fix today. The VRM did look correct to me though. Like, it should work. The skeleton was right. I think we might just be over optimizing on our side. Give me that download. Equip. Yeah, you see, I combined the model and now it looks great. So, well, kinda. I don't know what that is. There's something funky going on for sure. So we'll fix that. That might be something on my side I'll take a look at. I don't think this is an art issue though. I think the art is solid. Hold on, I gotta pick up this. What's up with that E? It's not the one. Okay, weird. Yeah, give me that one. It's very strange. Okay, there's something with the way we're not cutting the head off. Anyway, we'll have to take a look at that. That's some funky biz. But the main issue is that Activate is not activating on NFTs that are imported. It is activating just fine on assets I bring in. Wow, this is untenable. All right, I'm gonna have to refresh. The eyes, though. We'll file some bug reports. Yeah, look at that really slow animation. All right. So what could it be? What could the difference be? You saw that I pulled I pulled the Doge in, I pressed E and it worked. You saw that I equipped it and it worked. But when I go here and I equip, it does not activate. Something about this model, not the model, but like the importing from the chain, the way we're doing it now, it's not activating. Now, why could that be? I have some theories, but my main theory is we could probably simplify this a lot just by dot avatar. We have that somewhere, don't we? Yeah, object.avatar. What if we just did the start URL? We actually don't need any of the other information on it. Let's just try that. I'd be shocked if that doesn't work. Okay. Try refreshing again. I think I need to save. Give me some issues. Come on. Oh, cool. Dancing. Let's try that again. Equip avatar. Oh, it's so close. It wants to. It just won't. Let's see if there's any logs. Dot activate. So you can see that it definitely happens here. Import app is called, which does all the stuff, imports it, and then activate is called. This is the one that we're calling on the other spot is, and you can see it's basically calling the exact same code, and it should say activating app when I did it. Let's just clear this, and it's not calling. Well, oh right, because it's different now. But we're gonna go to our activate function. And we're going to see if we can activates. And let's try that again. Internal server error. Oh, my bad. I think let me make sure I did that right. Because it seems like, oh yeah, I must have deleted the bracket. Cool. Fletcher Doge team sent me another VRM, so let's go take a look, and maybe that'll work. I think it's probably something we're doing with our optimization pipeline, though. Because the VRM looked right to me. I have to save one more time. Look at it. Okay. Got all the biz. Now, show me the activate. Didn't call it. You can see it loaded Retro Doge. Then we have our call. Then this is kind of our user box getting reloaded. But I didn't see any activate call. I mean, it's just not activating. Oh, probably. I mean, we are definitely setting. I wonder. I think that we're just not calling it in the right place. Activate. Function activate. It's an app. Apps would be in the app manager, I think. Dot activate. Let's see, it's getting called on this app, which is current app. Current app. I think we need to go to the app manager, which is in the engine. Engine, app manager, activate. Use activate is here. Which is usually what we do. I feel like it's just not getting called at all. Like the activate animation isn't getting called. I need to just figure out where I even like put my hooks for this. You can see that when I press E, it's doing the, I'm doing something, doing an animation. So somewhere along there, it's just not activating. I'm gonna test the new VRM model. Just for, wait, is that the right one? Maybe. No, let me try that. I don't know what it is. It's definitely something with the way we're loading models. I think we'll be able to fix it. Another thing that we're doing is we like decapitate the head so that when you go in, see, it works now. I don't know. It's a very strange thing. I think this is on our side. I'll take care of that. I'm not too worried about it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's fixable. Another interesting thing, seems like our character loaded in at the wrong height after switching. So let's just make a little list of things we're going to take care of today. We got the new Webaverse mono repo. It's got a ton of little bugs like this because we switched things over. So make a new hackmd. And we're going to say fix hair and eyes not attached to Doge. What the fuck? I don't even know. We also need to check activate and make sure it's calling on Doge apps. It might be something like I don't know. It's very strange. Maybe I can pull one of the avatars off of like, you know, it certainly works with the character creator avatars. And I have some that we've minted onto OpenSea. I could try those too. That might be like another thing we could kind of just make sure the thing works. I think we'll let's see. We definitely want where, and maybe it's in the use frame, update look, use activate, and let's just try that. Console.log activate on pet. Okay. Console.log activate from Webaverse file. It might just be doing this and it's just not, it just doesn't have any listeners. Like that seems like the most likely thing. Or it doesn't have a physics ID. Console.log physics ID is, it's gonna be something technical like this. Let's pull one of these characters from our character studio if it's loaded. And I'm gonna download the VRM. A little baseline here. Come on. And let's equip. I mean, it looks slick. Gotta fix those hands. Okay, so that part works. And we didn't have any crazy... See, this is the weird thing, is like we didn't have any issues with her face. So let's do the last part. Let's just go and check the chain for some of our other thingamabobs. Most of these other ones should be... Most of these are undefined. It's only the Doge that's finding right now because I did it through the alchemy stuff, right? Let's see. Let me go to OpenSea really quick. My wallets. Where? What a cute little Doge. And I've got some of these kind of crappy test avatars things. Not great, but hopefully at least like demonstrates some workability. I'm just gonna go look at the metadata for this. Oh, I actually have better ones, don't I? I'm not the owner though. Lol. Minted 1 to you. That's fine, I'll take it. All right, let's go get the details. So sometimes you want to see where is this asset on OpenSea. What you do is you go and you follow the contract address. Cool. And we go to the contract. And we go to read contract. And this read contract, this is something every degen has to know, is how to use ETHScan, EtherScan, and Polygon Scan. This read contract shows you everything on the contract. What we're looking for is the URIs, right? So I can get the token URI for 1, and you can see there it is. And I should be able to go to ipfs.io/ipfs/that, and there you go. Now it has an animation URL, and it has an image. And it's downloading that. Interesting. We should probably make sure it has a VRM extension there because it doesn't seem right. Let me just test.vrm. Whoa. Modified test.vrm. I don't know. Avatar test.vrm. Whatever. Too many test.vrms. So. Cannot read properties of null. Okay, so that file is just straight up messed up. Dang, I was hoping we could use it as a test from the IPFS. Well, we could mint another one. I don't think minting's ready yet. Okay, so we've got kind of two issues we got to figure out. Why is it not activating? But it does activate. It activates her. It activates. Well, you know, yeah, and the GLB activates. Let's try and solve the pet case first. I think that might be a little more obvious. console.log use called. Okay, it looks like it's playing the use animation. I could be wrong. Oh, apparently I can just click on the token ID and that takes me as well. Oh, that's way easier. I never do that. I always do the EtherScan. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna try this one more time. Quick pet. Drop. Physics ID is -1. That to me is indicative of something potentially that we might want to look at. Wow, I'm stuck. It did call activate. Activate from Metaverse file. Physics ID is 5. So it did give it a physics ID and it calls activate, but it's not when we dispatch the event. Activate is not being listened to. console.log. And app.add event listener. I wonder, it's got to be something like use activate is not getting triggered by NFTs. That's my guess. Clear. Nice and clean. Equip the pet. Use activate was called. Activate from the metaverse file. And the physics ID was -1. So something about, like, I called it. We can see the GLB. It's got all the stuff. And app type. Not show me listeners or anything. Yeah, I mean, this looks right? But then if we take the same model, let's go back to our Russia Doge. The memes. Where's the item details? Okay. Components, physics, look, start URL. Oh, right. Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Totally forgot about this. Well, this is a weird thing. This is not the same metadata, is it? Like, see how this has metaverse files, and this has 2 metaverse files. And this is not the same metadata. What the heck? That we got from the chain, is it? It must be that I have 2 VR. It must be like, hold on. Let's just go back. Because that's not the same metadata. Right? Like let's compare, just to make sure I'm not crazy here. Here's the metadata for RetroDoge 2, right? And then let's go to the metadata I downloaded. No, sorry, this is the data you guys gave me, but this is not the data from that we're getting from what's it called? Alchemy. Let me just search Alchemy. Where did I put that? So when we set the NFTs, and they're going into this token list, like, is it just that that's just a different Doge? So what is it? Is it scraping old metadata because Alchemy has old metadata? I think that might be the case. If since the Doge team changed the metadata, the way the chain works is that, like, they just kind of scrape it every X weeks, update the stuff on their side. I don't know. It must be calling old metadata. They must have a cache of old metadata. Like, it just doesn't make sense otherwise. And the other thing that we did was that you can see there's 2 metaverse files here. And there's actually a whole metaverse files entry. And we just don't have that at all. So that's okay. I mean, we can make it work. But we'll probably have to update this with the new metadata and Alchemy rescan NFT. I don't know. Ooh. First, how can I trigger a refresh cache? Hey, this might be easier than I thought. This is the Alchemy stuff. Cache. refresh cache, get NFT metadata. Get NFTs for owner. Now I think I can call refresh cache on this as well. NFTs for owner. API reference, get NFTs. I think they changed it to get NFTs for owner. I think, let's try the with metadata. I think that it actually, I think that should work. I'm basically saying, hey, give me the metadata. And the metadata in this case, I believe, is saying, hey, pull it, don't cache it, pull it out of the IPFS. Let's see if that's right. Yeah. Like they say, there's only two hard things in computer science: cache invalidation and naming things. This is cache invalidation. Basically, this is the wrong cache. I want a new cache. I want you to invalidate the old one and delete it, and then recache it. Maybe it'll do that. Oh. Wait. It's activating. Object is. Oh, cool. There is a fox too. And we have a new retro doge as well. Well, you sent me if we have the new one, yeah, cool. Retro doge team sent me a new one. Let's just use that one instead. This one's cool, but the thing is, we're gonna have to parse it slightly differently because the new one we have some Webaverse files. Let's go into the object Webaverse files. Cool. Okay, well that should be pretty easy then. We're gonna parse it slightly differently. And we're going to say, instead of raw metadata, well, might still have that. Object is, so there's our token. That's the object. If object.metaverse files cool, well, there's our Webaverse files. Where did we do that other funky biz? Yeah. Cool. There's our mint claim, and there's, okay, awesome. Ooh, this is actually not so bad. Okay. So we've got our object, and our object has some Webaverse files. Now we want to let's look at our measures. We have two. And we'll check their components and we'll check their VRM. So say is VRM equal false. and let is pet equal false. For each metaverse file in metaverse files, if the start URL ends in .vrm, set is vrm to true. Another thing that we can do is, I'm just kind of hacking this together, so it's fine, is metaverse file. Well, if there's metaverse file, then we're definitely going to say is metaverse file equals true. And maybe instead of vrm, we'll say vrm metaverse file. Let vrm metaverse file equals null. Let pet metaverse file equals null. So now if we have some metaverse files, we'll say, well, yes, is metaverse file is true, and we'll go through them, and then for each of them, if the start URL set vrm metaverse file to this metaverse file, right? And then we're going to codex that out. We'll say and if its length is 0, there you go. We'll set it, and then if the if the metaverse file contains a components value, this array, and the components array contains an object with the value key set to pet const, and then you can see we filter it where the component.key equals pet and pet metaverse. I cannot express how good Copilot is, and if you don't use it, you might as well not even bother programming at this point. It makes me 10x better. It's so helpful. So all that magic I'm doing where I describe it and then press tab, that's all GitHub Copilot, like AI stuff. Okay, cool. And for really, like, you know, I could spend another 5 minutes struggling out this destructure, but describing it, having the comment, and then I can even leave the comment for the next person to come along and they can understand what this means. That all feels good. Now, these effects, I'm not going to be able to keep them here. I'm probably going to have to set, set this data on the token. This is a little hacky, but this will be fine. We'll just move it over here. We'll say const metaverse file, and then we'll have a set for it. And so this is a React state, right? This state stays between refreshes. This state does not stay between refreshes. This will get reset every time it gets called again. So we definitely need to move it out of here. And then we can do the same thing here. So let's pet metaverse file. Should be file. Set pet metaverse file. And then instead of this, we'll do set vrm metaverse file. There you go. And then for pets, same thing. We gotta do set pet metaverse file. Cool. Am I missing something? Must be. Am I tripping, or is there something wrong with it's like indicating? well, if pet metaverse files. I think it was just a little wrong there. And then we can say if is metaverse file. Cool. So that will do our that part. And now we need the conditionals here. Okay, this should be a little cleaner though. Instead of, where are our conditionals? Instead of this crazy one, say, I'll say VR, if there is a VRM metaverse file, then we'll say the equip avatar. And if there's a pet metaverse file, then we'll have the equip the pet. And then we can get rid of this crazy logic here. Solid. Okay. See if it parses. Well, now we have a new one, which is not showing up here yet, but we want it to. So that's the next thing we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to make sure that it shows up here. This one right here with no is also a retrodosh because I can. It's the last one in my thing. It's probably the one I just received. And let's try and equip it. I don't see the download. Object activate from metaverse file. You can see it did find it. And it did. Oh, I know why. Of course, because I didn't change the on equip. So the on equip needs to be the pet metaverse file, and then the on equip here needs to be same. I'll just pass in the VRM metaverse file. All right, that should fix that. No, we should fix the why aren't the token IDs all appearing? It's because they're being destructured in different ways. Like if they don't all have the same metadata, then we need to make sure that we have some strategies for pulling the images. It's funny because like even beyond the ERC 721 standard, OpenSea has really defined the standard. You know, like everything we're doing is basically because they set the metadata this way. Come on, it's having a hard time with. Hold on. It's being funky. We have some weird race condition in the app context, maybe. To fix that. Okay, there we go. Do right click. Equip pet. It did find it. It is calling it. Oh, so close. Looks cute though. So it's calling activate, but I think the activate is just something about the way it's set up. It's not. It's also not looking at me. You can see it's trying to look at me, but then it's not. There's just something in the code we'll have to figure out. But let's try the other one. There he is. Do I have my Z toggle anymore? No, I took out the world tokens. says physics ID is 6. So it's calling the listener, but I think that when we load them, fascinating. It's like we're not adding the event listener. And that might be something in the drag and drop. So fortunately, the metadata is working great. The new metadata strategy works. You can see we've got the pet, we've got the VRM. That's all good. From this point on, I think it's just bugs in Webaverse. You know, as we've changed things over to this new monorepo, we've kind of broke a few things. We'll take a look and see if we can fix this quickly. Upload, create app. Does the load, creates the app. Import URL. Isn't that what it is? Import app. It's definitely happening. It definitely works when it comes through this interface. There's our use activate from where. There's our activate on the pet. Here's our use activate called on the app. Activate CB. Cancel.log. Activate CB. I mean, you can see this is like, this is the code. I could see another possibility where we could just set the app on the local player directly. Could be simple enough. Use activate called on the GLB, and use activate called on, that's another GLB. That's 2. Appearing. Use activate called. Listeners, where update and activate. Well, I think we're gonna have to debug this a little bit. I bet I could even get this to work in other versions of Webaverse. It's just like this particular one. I think we'll have to look at why the activate's not happening. It definitely seems like we're very close. I'm actually stuck in the other character. Like we're definitely very close. Activate from metaverse file is called. The physics ID. There's just some listener issue. So I'll probably end up debugging this offline because I think we got the main gist of it, right? Like we parsed the metadata, we got the dojin, we got the pet. We've got 2 bugs we got to fix. One is like, why is the hair not linking? And the other one is, I could also pull in the fox, and that might be an interesting test too. Why isn't the hair working, and why isn't the character wearing? But I think that's just a race condition with the way that we're importing the NFTs right now. Because if I do the drag drop, it totally works. Let's just try that last. IPFS.io/IPFS. So yeah, we knew we were going to encounter some bugs. We'll take a look at that. But I feel pretty good about pulling this stuff off the chain. And I think we proved that the Retro Doge team has made a cool asset that will work in Webaverse once we fix the hair. Mostly did what we set out to do. One other thing that's weird. Well, I think that small avatars are also up in the air a little bit. We should probably figure that out. I think the capsule collider might be. I could probably check that. Yeah, that's a little strange too. You can see that the character's a little bit above the world. Let's just see, was that happening in our other one as well? I thought that wasn't. I thought we had solved that. I'll try this new one. Almost. The hair worked. The eyes do not work. But the hair worked. Whatever you did, you fixed most of it. Looking good. We got a seal. Let's go. Cool. So, how about this? While the ARC team is trying to fix the eyeballs, I'm going to try and take a look. Yeah, if you want to share your screen, I can. I'm gonna move over to Jack's screen here. Give me a second to pull that up and pull it out of the feed. This is tight. We're streaming a stream. So Vertex Group currently is the head. Yeah, it needs to be named the bone. And we're going to change. So the bone is I.L and I.R, I think. And our artist is just changing it over right now to reflect that. Yeah, looks good. And it's just like funky little, things like that we have to be aware of sometimes. Sometimes if you have like a skin mesh, but you also have some things that have parent relationships, sometimes you can have weird things where the skin mesh is getting applied and the movement of the object is getting applied, which I think is what was happening before with our hair and our eyes when they were working. This new one looks like it's just going to be a skin mesh. It should just work out of the box. So I'm feeling good about that. Cool. I'm going to get that asset and we're going to drop it in. Turn that. Grab the file. Come on, eyeballs. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, the best part? The best part. Okay, we need to fix dang it. Almost the best part. Hold on. That was not the best part.
Hey, Bob.
Dang it. Get your freaking... I want the mouth. I want to see your mouth. I want to make sure it works.
Hey there.
I mean, that's really adorable.
How are you?
So we're going to have to fix... there's two things. I think there's one more thing we need to fix in the art. If I press H, you will see that the root of the character is on the ground, but the rest of the character is not. We should make sure that the character is zeroed out and the avatar is zeroed. I'm going to go... and that the secondary is also zeroed out. I'm gonna go pop this into my own. I'm sure Chax is gonna hop in and see what's going on in Blender, but I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna go into Blender and see what's up with that, because one of them was rocking, right? Or I think we had one that was working pretty well on the ground. Let me import the VRM downloads. That. But the blend shapes are working well. The hair is working well. I think we're doing good. I don't know what that is. I could have sworn I imported. Import anyway. I think I needed that. I mean, everything looks right to me, right? Like, that looks like the right position. Armature. Where's your secondary? Secondary is at 0. It's all looking quite fine. I have a theory, which is that it might not have anything to do with the character. It might just be something as a result of our capsule collider, but it shouldn't be. It should really, this should definitely work. So I'm just going to try this one. I'm just saying combining all of your parts into one. We'll apply all transforms. Let's look at the VRM. Validate. Index. Okay, I mean, it should be fine. It's got all the mappings. I think that we might want to... Can I... minimize all. Root, hips. I think, I don't know why it wouldn't work. Clean test. Vertex, something, something. Cool. And in the meantime, we've got one from Chax as well. Did we solve it? Did one of us solve it? I hope so. All right, let's try Chax's. They're so cute. No, still flying. I think I turned off most of the debug, so we can't see the capsule. I could probably turn that back on though. Let's try mine. Huh. No luck. I should really ask Jin. I'm just gonna screenshot this and ping Jen real quick. He's kind of an expert on this exact kind of thing. Maybe the expert. Send him a message. I don't know if this is an artist thing though. I think we'll have to determine that. You know, it's weird because the character creators definitely, like the humanoids are fine. It's either, oh, also, I think, is that just mine? I think we might have some issues with the eyebrows too. Let's just make sure that those are right as well. But they are. It's just my model. I messed it up. It looks so perfect except for that. Flying. I feel like we had an issue for this. I'll give it, I bet you like Viz could solve this in 5 minutes. One of our other engineers. I don't know what's going on with this. I think that we should call it and then just take it offline and fix it. My assumption is that this is a bug in Webaverse with height. So if we fix that, I mean, look, it looks great. We got all the character fixed. We get the height fixed, and we get the activate fixed, and we've got everything good. Our new minting flow is working. So I'd kind of like to take this offline and you know, work on it for a few hours and make sure I've got everything solid without streaming necessarily. I mean, maybe I'll stream in Webaverse and we'll just do this on the community Discord and hang out. But yeah, I think we can call it there. Maybe we'll move over there. We kind of capped what we wanted to get done though. We fixed some of the VRM stuff. We brought the pets in. We brought the avatars in. It's a great collection. I think we're at like 99%. So cool. Let's call it, and then maybe I'll hang out with you guys if you want. Come to the workshop voice chat channel in the Webaverse Discord, and we'll keep going there. Until then, this has been the stream.